Oh, yes. Marvelous. Oh no, is that too loud? Alright, maybe that will be better than last time I did this. I've gotta wait a second before I say what's on my mind, but, you know, because like right now I've just started the stream, so can't just go saying what it is I want to say without, you know, being sure that everything is functional, right? So, hello Cam10247, happy birthday. Alright, so maybe that is a sign that things are functioning, and now I might say the things that I want to say. Hello TJ811, happy birthday. Yeah, no, I'm not still streaming, I'm just streaming now to say something. Because there's something that's been weighing on my mind lately, and it kind of involves the concept of leading people on, right? Now, I'm worried that in the past, specifically maybe 2018, some of the things that I did on stream might have been something that people would consider, you know, leading others on. And now, that might be ridiculous to say, right? It's like, what are you, some kind of narcissist? But it's like, no, I'm considering the fact that maybe I might have, you know, created some sort of parasocial idea in someone's mind, and I want to alleviate that because I've been considering things like, you know, the cosmic scale and balances of the universe. Like, I've been reading about things like karma, for example, and I don't want to hurt anybody else by, you know, creating an imagination that's never going to happen. So what I wanted to clarify with my stream here is the whole reason I do this is for the purpose of, like, you know, expanding my understanding of the world, you know, adjusting my internal moral compass by interacting with you all in the chat and everything. And hello, bro, Science Jim, happy birthday. And, you know, a few other reasons, right? Because at one point in time, I didn't really have much social contact with the outside world because I pushed everybody out in my life. And now I'm kind of like trying to reverse that, you know, I'm trying to reach out to my sister and mother and all that good stuff. Yes, oh, happy birthday. But I was, yes, I got a boyfriend, and I believe in my recent streams I referred to him as my main squeeze. And I think, like, there's, you know, I've got a boyfriend, and yes, it's great. And he bought me this for a present recently. It's very marvelous, right here. And I was playing with it, and, well, yes, he does indeed have one of those things, but, yeah, it's like, no, he's not a guy friend online. Like, I actually know this person in physical proximity, right? So we have you know, we interact with each other and things like that, so it's pretty nice, yes. Yeah, I didn't necessarily go back to the 1950s. I think I'm telling you, that word just popped into my mind for some reason when I was like, oh yeah, he's just my man. It's like, no, he's my boyfriend, and, you know, I'm never going to engage with romance with anybody else that I meet, you know, outside of him, basically. And I just wanted to, you know, say that because I'm trying to be more of an honest person, and I don't want to create any false imaginations in anyone's mind in an attempt to, like, not hurt other people, right? I've been really thinking about that lately. Like, what are the things that I guess I don't have concussive shot yet on this character. I wanted to go around and fight some virtual monsters in this virtual simulated world of Warcraft here. But yeah, I just wanted to do a short stream to say that, because I think that's the best way I can say something to everybody, because if I post something on Twitter, it's like, Twitch is where I've done all this, you know, our parasocial interaction over the years, so I think it makes best sense to do it here. And if there's anybody I'm imagining that's suffering from pain that I've caused, perhaps they might click this VOD and see this message. And then, you know, I can do this short little happy stream here to start the holiday season off. And, you know, moving from there. But this is my favorite thing to do in the World of Warcraft, but yes. Yes, that is the infamous chair right there in the background. Oh, yes. Oh, look, I'm trying to be very direct and honest, and of course, you know, consider the grand scale of, you know, I don't know, I was thinking a lot about, like, karma rate lately, and I wasn't really. I was thinking about a lot of things lately, like religion specifically. I don't know philosophy, but I have like a very abstract understanding of religion, and I think one thing everybody can agree on outside of religion is that hurting other people's bad, right? So, and I think there's a lot of ways I hurt people that I'm becoming more conscious of now, because I think I'm expanding my conscience and tweaking my internal moral code. And here's the thing, like, my internal moral code isn't right. Everybody has a different internal moral compass. Everyone has a different tool set for navigating reality, and I'm just adjusting mine. So mine's not right. Someone might do the opposite of, what I'm saying, and maybe in their unique perspective. Like, I don't understand anything, yes. Wie läuft dein Deutschunterricht? Mein Deutschunterricht? Ich habe gar keine Deutschunterricht. Ich habe alle das, ja genau, das der Grund, wo, yeah, that's an interesting topic to bring up, the reason I learned German, for example, right? It's like, do I seem like much of an intellectual to you? No, not at all. So why would somebody who's not an intellectual learn German? Like, that's quite an arduous task. Wait, is it saying something?
Dazu ein Rosinenbrötchen mit Leberwurst und dann kommt Bier ins Spiel. Und dann geht es schon.
I think I heard a subscriber sound and missed it. I'm sorry, it came out of my speakers instead of my headset. One moment, please. But thank you for the subscription, Cyphus Kane. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. I'm human, so I make mistakes. Oh, here we go. Desktop audio. Where's the monitor at? There's some kind of audio thing. Monitoring device will be the Logitech headset. There we go. Ausgezeichnet. Warhammer 40k. I actually am not very familiar with Warhammer 40k, but thank you. Thank you for the subscription. That's very nice of you. Yes, happy birthday. Yes, being human in 2023 is quite the thing, isn't it? It's very scary. Speaking of scary, like, I did a stream last time. Oh, look at me, I'm making my camera big because I feel like I'm being a goober right now. My last stream I did an experiment and just saying the first thing that came onto my mind. I think I made a list because I was watching my stream back, each one I did, and reviewing my performance, and I was so scared by the stream that I did that I deleted both the VODs because I counted over 10 things that I said that I could be canceled for. And I think, yes, to be human indeed. But yeah, that's yes, I counted 10 things that I said that I could be canceled for, and that's why I deleted the VODs. And that's the danger of speaking what's on your mind is, what was the most controversial? Here, let's run through them really quick. So, I'm scared to run through them. Okay, what was the worst one? I've got a list right here, let's see. I think I might have dissed, see, here's one that's funny. Like, I think even talking about this might be controversial. It's crazy. You say fuck cancel culture? Well, here's the thing, right? For someone like me, who, cancel culture, I guess it's not someone like me, it's everyone. Cancel culture could destroy everyone's life, and it's very scary, right? So when you're on the internet, you have to, I'm trying to kite this monster here, but instead the monster has reset. Yes. Boyfriend. Yes, I wanted to say boyfriend because, not because of being canceled, that was a different thing. I was concerned about my conscience and my actions and hurting other people. So I wanted to establish, the parasocial nature of this stream. But let's see. What was the most controversial thing? I'm scrolling through the list of points I found in my last stream. Let's see. I think I dissed executive officers or boards of directors when I was streaming, it was kind of a sneak diss. I believe that's a little dangerous, but that's kind of a dispute. The one thing, okay, so here's something I said, okay? This one's controversial. I said the following. I said, when you say Merry Christmas to someone, I said, you gotta consider what the other person thinks, and I refer to that as dangerous territory, right? Like, considering what the other person thinks is dangerous territory, and it's like, well, that makes no sense. It's good to consider the other person, but the reason it's dangerous territory, and the reason I could have got canceled for that, is I didn't expand on it, right? The reason it's dangerous territory to, imagine what the other person thinks is, you don't know what the other person thinks. So, like, you can't project yourself onto other people, and I forgot to mention that. So that's why it was controversial, right? I didn't speak properly. That's why it was controversial. It would have been fine if I speak properly, but You can't even say, well, I don't know about that, Olk, but what I do know is this. I said another thing as well. What was the other thing? I gotta find it here. I'm grinding monsters because this is fantastic. I'm having a wonderful time doing this. Now that I've got concussive shot, I can just loop around and kill these. Okay, so the other thing. Let's get to it really quick because this is the central focus of what I need to get out of my system right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh yes, I said this. I said that what you see on the screen right now does not reflect reality. I said that, like, what I'm doing right now may as well be like a VTuber thing. And I think when I said that, that was throwing VTubers under the bus because I didn't expand on my thought, right? I think VTubers is an art form, right? You're doing an art and you're sharing your art with the world. In that, it's that avatar. It's like a very beautiful creation that you're sharing with everybody. And I think when I said that, I related my camera to a VTuber. I projected my insecurities, right? Because I was saying the reason that I put all these lights on my face is so you can't see what I actually look like, so that I can hide behind my insecurities. And I think when I said that, someone might have assumed that I was saying that about VTubers, but no, I was saying that about myself, right? And it's hard to say things like that without being, I don't, even then, like, that's still controversial, right? Because it's like someone might forget what I just said or tune in at the moment where I said the one thing and didn't hear the other one. Just change Merry Christmas in your mom's phone to autocorrect to something profane. By the way, I've not talked to my mom in the past 5 years, and I reached out to my sister who's, my mom and my sister apparently are going through some turmoil in their lives right now, and I pushed them out of my life because for whatever reason, right, I don't want to make excuses, but I'm trying to reconcile with a lot of the wrongs I've done in my life, and we'll see. I'm going to basically be able to put myself out there and try to establish a connection with my family again. So, okay, Olk says these are all like very glancing blows, a bomb. Just because you don't nail a perfect speech every time doesn't mean you're going to be Hillary. Well, that's the thing, though. I have this imagination where I think I might have mentioned this. I have this really negative narration in my mind a lot of the time. Right now, I don't, right? Because it's just like a stream of consciousness, all the words flowing out of my mouth, just random stuff. Oh, I'm going to die if I don't pay attention in this game. I should perhaps be more attentive to that. But Dante Ben says, it's almost impossible to avoid things being taken out of context. Some clippers make a living from making out-of-context clips. Oh no, I mustn't die. I must pay attention. Alright, let's concussive blow this. Oh, I believe I failed the mission here. Okay, so out-of-context clips. It's not worth worrying much about. Well, this is the reason why I'm worried about it, right? Is I've seen before how someone's life, like some person, right, who's not intentionally, just like me, right? I'm I'm engaging in parasocial activity for the purpose of expanding my internal, all that hullabaloo that I just said. I'm doing that, but I've seen someone else doing that, and I saw their life get ruined by one of those out of context, interpretations, basically. And I can't think of the direct example, but I know I've seen it. Well, maybe, no, I'm thinking of an example, and it was actually pretty egregious. Or was it? Like, I don't know. It's just scary, right? That's the point. I think you all understand that's the point, but you're very genuine. You think well, I'm trying to be, right? I think that was my problem in the past, and it's still my problem now. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I want to be honest and not hurt people at the same time, and that's tricky. I don't know how I feel about old internet. I'm just focusing on the now and trying to figure out how to move forward. And I realize that's something that people say, and like I think moving forward is something people in the corporate world say, like, how do we move forward? How do we move forward? Well, I think that's very applicable in everyday life too, where you're presented with a set of variables and you're like, how do I move forward given the nature of my life in this particular moment? And it's like, well, I'm now aware, very much so, of all the wrongs I did in my past, and how do I rectify them, and blah 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 blah. Boris Brejcha is great, by the way. That's the music that's playing right now. It's absolutely fantastic. Bye-bye, Dante Ben. Thanks for stopping by. Happy birthday. I'm probably not going to stream very long. I just wanted to do that to, get out that... I have these compulsions, you might say. I have these compulsions. I'm trying to be mindful of them, and I think right now I'm not being very mindful. So I need to, re-engage with mindfulness. But that's really hard to do. A wise friend of mine said, mindfulness in my brain right now is like a dark forest road. And my mission right now is to turn that dark forest road in my brain into a multi-lane expressway so the data can, travel through my brain on the mindfulness pathway much better. Yes, Boris is great. Hard for Boris indeed. My proclivities, yes. But I like doing this. I like killing monsters in the World of Warcraft. This is great. Yeah, I was, one thing I forgot to do that I said I was going to do was I was going to read the story of Boris Brejcha, and I think it's really interesting and a lot of people could relate to it. So if you think this music is nice, perhaps read the story about Boris Brejcha. Hello, Indian Laws. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a nice happy birthday today. Alright, so now that I am this level in the game, I think I can go further than just fighting these monsters. Last time I was having trouble doing the quest. Wait, I need a concussive shot this. Alright, concussive shot that. J Musi, hallo! Ich glaube, dass du kommst aus Deutschland? Irre ich mich, oder? But I remember, J Musi, I was looking at my Twitch creator dashboard and I saw your name listed as someone else who streams, and I clicked on your profile and saw, oh, you stream. And I thought, oh, that's very nice, and I saw you speak German, so that was very, very interesting. Yes, Marmot, that is correct. He, yes, and it goes deeper than that, because it talks about, like, there's a lot of story behind that mask he wears, and it's really interesting, and I think a lot of people could relate to it. So I need to learn that story myself. I still haven't learned it, but Olaf has a point. He is German. Yeah, if you're curious about my obsession with German, it was because I was deeply infatuated with some German man, perhaps, and now I have released that and moved on, right? And I think that's good. And I think the good thing is ooh, that is a fucking tune right there. Hell yeah. The good thing is, I still learned a lot of things through that infatuation, like the German language for the most part. Now, I can't speak it fluently, right? Like, I'm not a German expert, but I learned a good bit of German. No, the Korean was another thing. The Korean was another, I was very uncomfortable going to Korea in my quest for bodily self-modification to reflect the image that I desire to have for my mask, right? But I was actually, oh, that's the other thing I said last stream that was possibly controversial. I reduced my interest in Korean culture. This is what I said. The quote was, "I want to learn Korean for content." And that was a lie. I was self-deprecating, but the truth was, I actually have a legitimate interest in Korean culture. And you might think that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And I think the interesting thing about Korean culture is it is intertwined with the language. So the more of the language you learn, the more you can kind of relate to things. Now, I haven't read history and everything, right? I'm starting with the language because language is the first. But these interests ebb and flow. Like, it's like a sine wave, right? It's moving up and down. 1 month of the year you'll be interested, and then the interest fades away, and like it's a grand mystery what drives motivation in all of us. Korean culture is very interesting. I want to tell you what happened, my experience when I was in Korea. I was in this clinic consulting with a craniofacial surgeon for modifying my jawbone, and when the doctor entered the room, everybody stood up like that, like it was a courtroom. And then here's me, the foreigner. I'm just sitting there in my chair like, do I stand up too? Like, what's going on? But I think the thing that's really interesting about Korean culture is their respect that they have for each other, right? And that's what interests me a lot. Like, it's kind of funny, like, I did this thing a couple times on accident where at work, I've accidentally said, "Yes, ma'am," to somebody. And I was like, oh, shit. You know, she might think I'm insulting her for, you know, maybe age or something, but it's like it's a respectful thing. But I think in our culture, it's like we do that for age, maybe. And when I say our culture, that's a funny thing to say. When I say our culture, I mean, I'm assuming that most of us here participate in Western culture when I say that, right? So I just think that's an interesting thing. Like, in Korea, everyone says like, "Yes, ma'am," "Yes, sir" type of vibe to each other. But in Western culture, we're a lot more lax about that kind of stuff. So, oh, marvelous. Yeah, I didn't see any. Actually, that was another thing I experienced when I had a glimpse at Korean culture while I was there. Oh my goodness. Just the respect. Like, that's a very interesting thing. Yeah. What's up, Fangles? Happy birthday. Been a while. Happy birthday. Okay, what was I doing in this game again? I think I was trying to go this way to go into this cave and complete an objective because I want to get to level 10 so that I can have a pet in this game, so. Yeah, this is something that I heard, so with regard to bowing, I think I did a bad thing when I was in Korea. And I didn't realize this, right? And that's the scary thing. When you are not a participant in a culture and you enter someone else's culture, you might do something, and I think I did do something bad while I was there. So here in America, we'll like tip each other, right? Because that's just, well, so there was a delivery driver, because there was COVID in Korea at the time, right? So going to places was particularly difficult if you were a foreigner, because you had to have a QR code to enter some businesses. And I was just like, well, there's a delivery service that will actually work with foreigners. So I interacted with this delivery service, and someone delivered some food that I had purchased, and I gave a tip, and that person I think was taken really aback by that. So yes, you gotta really consider all these things. So that's why I think if I ever go to Korea again, I want to make sure I learn more about Korean culture before I set foot in Korea, because that was That was an experience. What a marvelous scream here. Yes, he wasn't expecting a tip. I don't know. I don't know if it's appropriate to say, but I'll just leave it at that, right? Like, yeah. It's rather toasty in my room again. Oh yes. Wearing this nice bathrobe here. Oh yeah, I think another thing I said was I called this my dancing robe because I believe Olk said that. You learn to do the quick micro. Oh. Yeah, I don't. See, that's the thing. I don't know what I'm doing when I was there, so I was like petrified. You know, like, oh my goodness. But it was a good experience, right? I think if you have an opportunity to do something like that, you know, try to be as respectful as possible, but it will certainly expand your internal moral compass, I think. Oh, yeah, so. Yeah, and I don't know what it was. The person didn't treat it like that, Narwhals. Let's just say the person treated it with extreme gratitude. But I think it's true that it is rude to do that in other cultures, and I wasn't aware of that, right? So sometimes, you know, you do things, your intentions are good, but you cause harm, and that's a tricky one, right? Like I've heard, you know, it's all about your intentions, but that's why I'm trying to course correct my internal tool set and all that. But maybe I should just kill monsters level 10. I want to get a pet in this game so that I'd have an easier time doing combat with these virtual monsters here. Yeah, true. I get in my head a lot, I guess. And that was one thing I heard, right? Is I'll be worrying in my head about things that I've done, but it's quite possible that others are also worrying in their head about things that they have done. So we're all kind of in this boat ride together. Oh, yes. Well, I think yes, Ulk, especially with respect to the boyfriend thing that I started the stream with, right? Which is where I clarified the parasocial nature of this stream and that, you know, the whole, like, fear of other stuff like that, but yes, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah, I don't know, Anthony. I have no idea. Okay, Joffrey. Yeah, that's... I kind of imagine something like that, but there's another thing I did while I was there where I was in the hair transplant clinic. This was the second operation I had in Korea, and the lady presented her business card, and I forgot to, like, take it, and I think that's kind of an offensive thing over there. Like, when you accept someone's business card, you're supposed to use both hands, I think, and I completely forgot to take it, basically, so it was oopsie. But I had a Korean person with there who was helping me interact, so he course corrected me quite quickly. So that was nice. But in the other scenario, where everyone stood up in the room, I was the odd one out for sure. So that was... Yeah, I definitely want to go back at some point in my life, but I think the reason for my interest in the Korean language was that brief cultural experience I had, and it'd be nice to re-engage with that. But we'll see, right? We don't know where our motivations will go as time goes on. Maybe that motivation will fade, but I don't think it will. I think my motivations with language come in waves, right? And it's like 3 months out of the year I have an extreme interest in language learning. and then it fades away again. I don't know. Languages are interesting to me. Other cultures are interesting and helpful to learn for building up your tool set for interacting with the world. Yeah, I think I got like most of everything I wanted to say out, but maybe we'll just spend another 30 minutes and then call it the end of the stream, right? I think an hour is good for what I'm doing here. And then maybe in the future, after I've had more time to evaluate myself, maybe I can come back and try some more streams like I did. Like the 2 streams prior, I think those were a little more lit, perhaps. Like, or maybe they were. No, I think it was exactly the same as this. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just compulsion. I'm not being mindful right now. Gotta be mindful. Yes, I've read about Stoicism, but I don't know enough about it to talk about it. I remember in my mind, before I read about it, I reduced it to the idea that it's like, you keep your emotions to yourself, but obviously that was wrong, right? Like, that was my incorrect perception of what Stoicism was. In fact, I have no idea what Stoicism entails. Ja, ich kann noch Deutsch sprechen, aber es ist eine ziemlich lange Weile her seit aber ich habe Deutsch gesprochen letzten Stream, aber jetzt spreche ich English, weil ich see, Boris Brejcha just spoke English, so that's why I'm speaking English right now. I gotta speak English, like, that's the way to do it. For me right now, in this particular moment, when I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm doing here, and as I let my compulsions kind of drive me a little bit this evening, and then, what I'll do is, like I did with my previous streams, I'll kind of watch my stream back and grade myself on how I did, and, move on from there. I'm going to go to Darnassus because I like this city a lot, but no, I'm not going to go to Darnassus. I'm going to go to this cave right here and try to obtain the Rune of Nesting, because I want to get to level 10 so I can get a shed. Is Spanish useful? Well, the reason I learned German was quite interesting, to say the least. I did take a lot of Spanish in school. Oh, I've already got one of those items. I took a lot of Spanish in my schooling growing up, but I don't remember really any of it. I mean, I remember some of it, right? But I never got to the point where that... I think, for me, the critical point in learning German was when I could watch any cartoon and understand it, because you might think that's funny, like, why are you watching cartoons as an adult? Well, cartoons, they're made with language directed at children, and when you're learning a language, your mind is kind of like a child, right? So you need to watch things like, for example, the Smurfs. I watched the Smurfs in German, and that was perfect for my level of understanding. And then eventually got to a point where I was like, wait a minute, I just understood what they said, and like, I put the subtitles on and I couldn't understand it anymore, and then I took the subtitles off and then I could understand it again. It was really weird, but yeah, I think a lot of language learning is subconscious, but you have to do conscious things as an adult to engage those parts of your mind, because a lot of those programs turn off at a certain age, I think, like maybe like 5 years old or something like that, and then a lot of other processes like neuroplasticity decrease over time up until the age of 25. So I learned German at 28, which is after the age of 25. So neuroplasticity was quite the issue for me at that. Being in automatic mode? You mean, yeah, being in automatic mode. Trying to be mindful. The one thing specifically is like aggression. For some reason, I think I struggled with aggression. So, for example, if I saw a spider, it would trigger an adrenaline release, and when that adrenaline released in my system, I would smash the spider out of sheer and utter fear. What I did recently was is when I saw the spider enter my house, instead of smashing the spider, I put a cup over the spider and I took it outside, just to try to work on controlling my adrenaline release. Because I think for me, you know, a lot of people describe anxiety and whatnot, and I don't know if my description of it matches, but like I feel that adrenaline release sometimes when I'm talking with people in, you know, physical proximity. Or someone may say something that in the moment I interpret as something a certain way, and then I get an adrenaline release, and then I enter automatic mode. What I'm trying to do is when I get those adrenaline releases, which I associate with anxiety, I'm trying to learn how to navigate those adrenaline releases in a way that's mindful, and that's kind of tricky. Metal chair gang, happy birthday. We've got the metal chair present in the background, of course. We've got to have it there. Yeah, I think, you know, not killing the spider is one exercise in that. But the real solution to spiders is, you know, you have to seal your windows and your doors and all the crevices where air can enter from the outside. You know, it's good for, you know, heating and air. What's that called? Where you insulate your house. You know, the better your home is insulated, the less drafts you have, the less access points for our tiny little critter friends who, you know, we don't want in our living space. Hi, Khalid. No, I'm not going to be putting a spider in my mouth. That's just one example of trying to be mindful during an adrenaline release, basically. Oh, yes. Looks like someone has paved the way for me to navigate down this dungeon here. Thank you. Yeah, there's a couple dangerous species of spiders, speaking of that, where I live, where if they bite you, like, it's not good. Oh, I should do this. Yes, do that. Boris Gracia is great. But yeah, again, you know, I think, like I was saying, I got the big important thing I wanted to say off my mind this stream, and then if I have another compulsion to do another stream, I will try to mindfully, I don't even know if I'm using the word compulsion correctly with respect to mindfulness, but I'm using the word with my current interpretation of what it means, which is probably flawed. So yeah, I should probably, you know, maybe read the Wikipedia article on mindfulness, which I've still neglected to do. That might help a little bit. Down I go. I don't know about that casting room. You see, what you said right there leads me to believe that you're trying to. Maybe you're not. Maybe you unknowingly said something, or maybe you're intentionally trying to say something. I don't want to assume and, you know, project an assumption that someone is trying to be harmful to, you know, with their speech. But, you know, I'll just, you know, say that I observe a pattern in what you just wrote that might be interpreted as harmful to other people, so I would appreciate if you refrain from doing that if you're not aware of what you're doing. You think it's pretty safe to assume? Well, presently I don't have the ability to ban anyone in my chat due to the way I'm looking at it, so I should probably open up the ability to do that, shouldn't I? I mean, I'm only going to be on here for 20 more minutes. I'm not looking to, you know... You think my spidey sense is tingling in the correct fashion? Well, like we just said, my spidey sense might have been a little too overactive, so I'll just give a nice, we'll just, let's see, we'll confirm what I was saying here. Alright. The Boris Gracia alarm's going off. It's a sign. I must conform to Boris Gracia's alarm. I can't even... Okay, how do you do this? Let's see. There we go. I believe I have enacted justice in the chat room, and if I haven't, please let me know. So, Okay, here we go. We're navigating down this corridor. Hey, yo, what's up, Amadaddy? Happy birthday. Amadaddy, I believe it, great song, by the way. Boris Breich is a fantastic artist. Hello, Twist on Fire. Happy birthday. Jetzt sehe ich sehr viele deutsche Leute aus, you know, and I know how to speak a little bit of German. It's pretty, but I'm speaking English right now because I'm trying to go through some thought processes in my mind, self-reflection maybe. What do you think about being destined to die? That's here. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Okay, now. I'm warning you, what I say is going to be very reductive of religion, but it's the only way I can conceptualize it because I have such a small understanding. So please bear with me as I am very reductive in my speech here. I was thinking about the Wheel of Samsara. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I definitely didn't. And the 6 realms. And, you know, I was also thinking about Abrahamic religions and how the objective of Abrahamic religions is to enter into a heavenly realm and prevent yourself from descending into a hell realm. That's how I conceptualize it, at least, right? So, are Abrahamic religions a guidance system for ensuring that you exit the human realm and enter into, you know, I forget what it's called, the demigod realms and the god realms, and then preventing yourself from entering it? Like, there's all these thoughts going through my mind, but the thing about being destined to die, yes, that's very scary. That's a very scary thought. Life is very scary, right? I think the stakes are high. That's what I think about that. To answer your question, Joffrey, I believe the stakes are very high. Oh, I gotta say thank you because they saved my butt right there. Thank you. Yeah, I don't understand anything about religion there, but that was the crossover I made, right? Like, I'm trying to think about all religions and what are the truths, because, like, you know, things like the golden rule or all these things you can put, and then that leads into philosophy, which I have no understanding of at all, right? I'll say things that might sound leaning in that direction, but I might just be regurgitating something that I heard on a YouTube video years ago, and that's what I got to be careful about, right? So I don't understand these things, so I'm not not in a good position to be talking about them. This box is on the map right here, but I don't quite see it. I'm going to go deeper into the cave. You don't want to spawn on Earth again? Yeah, I don't... That stuff is very scary to me. That's all. That stuff is... It's very scary to think about. Going to work. Yeah, there's a lot of, I think that's what, you know, the Wheel of Samsara kind of, like, if you look at that side of religion, I think they talk about suffering and stuff like that. Again, I'm not an expert on this, but yeah, suffering exists in many different forms, and it's probably perceived differently for people depending on their, you know, unique conscious experience. Been waiting for an update for 175 million years. Amadaddy, I saw your profile picture in the Metal Chair Gang Discord. It looked a little... Was that from a video game? Oh yes, and you know, the whole purpose of this stream was like clarifying that what I'm doing is parasocial, right? Oh gosh. I can't find this box. I can't find this box, rather. Maybe it's up here. Yeah, I see. Okay, the gear icon is there on the mini-map, so if I go up this way, I'll probably find what it is that I'm looking for. Let's see. I'll help this person by, let's see, doing that. And then I'll help by doing this. Well, that's the thing, though. I don't think we can do a no spawn. That's impossible, right? Or is it? Is that what they describe as enlightenment or whatnot? I don't know. I don't understand these things. Just spewing out words that I've heard, and maybe it's a match, maybe it's not. Okay, so I don't think the object I need is... Oh my gosh, this is a great song. There's a box that I need in here. It says it on the map. Rune of Nesting. Unless, let's see. Unless it's another layer down. Do I have to go deeper into the cave? Maybe. We'll see. Yes, the high back chair was an inspiration from a good friend of mine. So I purchased it.
In the middle of nowhere.
Hopefully the box I need is down here. Ooh, Rage Claw. Wait a minute. Can I party with this person? Let's see. Invite to a party. There we go. Now we have partied together to do battle with Rage Claw. And how does one release the spirit? Like so. Okay. Skipping. Cancelled? Yeah, I'm worried about being cancelled. Look at that! Quest is complete. Isn't that great? Okay, so thank you. Great song. Ausgezeichnet, sagt man. Or at least I think. That's what Mr. Burns says in The Simpsons. We've gone brunette. Well, this is actually not what I actually look like. What I've done is I've increased the contrast on my camera and desaturated it so that you can't see what I actually look like, because the nature of this stream is parasocial, right? So I don't want to expose what I actually look like. Maybe it's due to other reasons. Maybe I'm over-embellishing. Maybe it's due to personal insecurities, perhaps. But there's many reasons why I adjust my camera to make it more artificial. So, happy birthday. Oh no, I believe I'm going to perish if I engage in battle in this particular way. I must retreat and start using concussive shot to kite this. Sorry, let's see here. Nope, the other monster in this video game is going to... Okay, now I'm just going to do some melee combat maybe. That'll be fine. You think I'm going to fire you? Listen. That's one thing I was thinking about those corporate executives and all that stuff. Like, now I'm not saying I'm dear Lord, I am at the bottom of the totem pole. But I was thinking about those types of people and how sometimes they're forced to make decisions where someone's livelihood is gone because they had to let somebody go, right? And I think if you're in a position where you have to do that, that is not something I ever want to have to do, that's for sure. So yes, I'm not going... This is just a high back chair inspired. Somebody inspired me to purchase this, who's a good friend, and der ist ziemlich interessant. Interessant? Yeah, I can't speak German. I like doing it every now and then. Hi. Hello. I've seen you said hi, and now I'm saying hello. Happy birthday. Hope you're having a nice happy birthday today. Oh, okay. Maybe. There's always... this person is being attacked by a monster that I have tagged. I should not leave this person to fight it alone. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ausgezeichnet. Thank you, Amadaddy. I will check that out. I am putting that in my to-do list of, things associated with self-reflection in my stream notepad file. Alright, so let's see here. I'm so confused. Where is this Rune of Nesting? That's one thing I want to do, Max. Hello, Wireless God. I saw you in a chat room. Then when I was watching someone live on the internet. A parasocial hello to you. Hello. Where is this box? I want to find this before the stream ends. That should be my objective, because I want to stop the stream, you know. We'll do a little hour stream, right? Because if I do more than that, that's too cumbersome for self-reflection, because I have to watch this back, see what I said, and try to learn from it. I'll help these two, I guess, because I don't know where this thing is. Rune of Nesting? I don't think they need my help. But where is this Rune of Nesting? Maybe it's in that room. Maybe it's down this way. Oh no! Gnarlpine Cache. Maybe it's here. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna try going down this way. If it's not here, I'll just call it quits, and then I'll get maybe level 10 from this quest that I just completed and get a pet. That'd be nice. Pet bait, please. Oh yeah, that brings some memories back. It is good music, that's for sure. Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing to do for the last 10 minutes of the stream is to turn that quest in. But I'm just so aggravated. Like, the box should be here, but it doesn't seem to be. Yes, indeed. The yearly stream the yearly let's see, emergence from my cave. Okay, I'm going to go right in here. What if the cache is here, but it's been looted and it is despawned, and that's why I'm not seeing it? Is that a possibility? That's possible. It could be in this room, but it doesn't. I don't think it is. All right, I'm just going back to the surface. Thank you, wireless god. All right, back to the surface I go. Oh yeah, little Christmas. Yes, a parasocial Christmas present. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say this. I said this in the little. Oh yeah, that's not good. I better start running. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. All right, we'll go this way. We'll run up this way. I think all I can do now is run, right? Oh, wait a minute. Is this where the cache is? Oh my goodness. Hello! Here it is. The cache that I needed was here all along. All right, yes, I found the cache. Exactly. You want to hear something? I used to call cache. Oh wait, it's a chest. Well, anywhere. I used to call cache when I was young, and I would see that on the computer. I'm like, oh, the cache. It's like, no, it's cache, not cache. But this right here. If you're interested. If you just happen to be interested in playing with, you know, making musical sounds on your computer, if you purchase, you know, some keyboard, this one in particular included Ableton Lite, a software key for it, and I don't think you can download Ableton Lite just willy-nilly. I think you have to have some sort of key or some sort of product, but Ableton, like, I used to play with Fruity Loops in the past, and Fruity Loops, for some reason, never clicked in my mind when I played with it as a child, but this, with Ableton, I think Deadmau5 uses Ableton. That keyboard makes perfect sense in Ableton. So, oh, this person's looting the chest. I should go do that too. Well, anyway, okay, so what do we got here? 6 minutes left on the stream? 6 minutes. What's going to happen? Probably nothing exciting, but, you know, I'm mindful again. See, it's crazy how I keep going into these states of, like, unawareness, and now I'm mindful again. I gotta work on that. Yeah, my boyfriend purchased that keyboard for me. It was really nice of him to do that because it was a very good gift. Reaper is a free digital audio workstation. You've never tried it? Well, I've always thought Ableton was pretty cool because I think I've heard, don't quote me on this, but I think I've heard that Deadmau5 uses Ableton. So I've always been like, oh, Ableton, like ever since like high school, or like, oh, not high school. It was some point long ago that I heard that, I think. And again, I think, right? My memory could be serving me incorrectly there. Hello, Link Retro. Happy birthday. A parasocial hello to you. Greetings. Yeah, so I don't think this stream's going to end on a very poggers note, but it's certainly going to end in less than 5 minutes, so, yeah. Down we go. Gee whiz, Oak. Yeah, I don't think I could ever get that sophisticated with my stream because when I lose my periods of like when I'm in a period of demotivation from streaming, then my interest shifts to you know, say learning the Korean language. When I come back to streaming, there'll be so much stuff there that I have to relearn because it just all exits my, you know, you've got things stored in RAM on your computer, and then when you turn your computer off, it's not in RAM any longer, so you have to reinsert it in the RAM in order to boot back up into the process, so. Oh, why, thank you, Erroneous. That's very nice of you. Yeah, and Amadaddy, it was parasocial. It was a parasocial nice to see you, yes. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I'll probably get level 10 here on my own time and get myself a pet. Don't know if I'm going to do this again in the near future, but again, tool for self-reflection. I got what I wanted to say out, and there we go. Intense periods of random jonesing, exactly. That's precisely what it is. I've decided to change the little thing I used as my stream outro. So maybe you'll think this is cool. Tell me if you think this is cool. I made this. Well, of course, you know, I didn't make it like, right, I found something on Google Images, I put it in an HTML document, and then I used CSS to make it rotate it one direction and the other, and then I found another image on Google Images, put that in the center, and made it rotate to the left and to the right. And it was kind of a, well, let's just take a look at it. What do you think of it? Wait a minute. Is that it? Isn't that marvelous? I don't know. I tried to make a little artsy thing for the, you know, but yes. It was nice having a parasocial interaction with you all, and perhaps we'll have another parasocial interaction in the future. Who knows? Bye-bye.